Right there is one of the most recognizable muscle cars of all time. And today, I'm going to show you why. Welcome back to the channel, guys. Before we get started, just a little order of business. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, hit like, let that algorithm know that you're liking these videos. Let's move into it. Today we're looking at the 2022 Chevrolet Camaro LS. So as we take a look at this Camaro LS, finished in satin gray metallic, just wanted to give you a little background sort of story of the Camaro sort of brand. So as we take a little look-see here, let's just flip around, take a little look-see of the car. This one finished in, as I said, satin metallic. Let's just take a little look-see, a little walk around. Okay, so as I said, you know, Camaro is one of the most recognizable muscle cars really of all time. And when I say muscle cars, I mean American muscle cars. We're not competing with German, sure as hell not competing with Italian, that's for sure. So, you know, Camaro found its beginnings in the 1960s, okay, when performance vehicles were just starting to get, you know, sort of popular. In and around the 1960s, 1967 was when this car sort of first came on the scene. So Chevy released its 6th generation Camaro in 2016. Okay, and that was in time to celebrate its 50th anniversary since 1967. So the new Camaro is lighter in weight, and the exterior has definitely been toned down, which is meant to give the car a little bit more better handling and a sleeker look than its predecessors. So, you know, you guys can be the judge on that, right? There's been so many different models over the years. And this one, I do like the sort of look at it. It looks a little bit boxy for me, but it looks sleek, it looks nice. Chevrolet announced that 70% of the parts used on this new model, okay, we're talking 2016 facelift to the current one, which you're looking at here, 2022, 70% of the parts used on the new model are unique to this Camaro, okay? So the real big sort of revamp, real big change in terms of styling, which is really, really cool. The new Camaro rests on GM's Alpha platform. And when they say Alpha, they mean it's the same platform shared with the Cadillac ATV, okay? Or excuse me, ATS. ATS is the model. The V is kind of like what AMG is to Mercedes. M is to BMW. It's their kind of performance line. So when giving this car this sort of what they call General Motors sort of Alpha platform, it's giving the car noticeable dynamic superior to not only the 5th generation models, but they say the Ford Mustang and Dodge Challenger as well, which are the competitors to this vehicle. Okay, so this is coming from Chevrolet. Hopefully my light is okay. This is coming from Chevrolet, but they're saying that the new one here is essentially better. It's superior. Drivers should be able to feel the decreased weight right away, and even in the more powerful sort of trim levels, you know, the big V8. This is the 2-cylinder, smaller engine, 2-liter 4-cylinder, excuse me. But even in the powerful sort of V8 6.2-liter models, the car is supposed to handle really, really well. Okay, we shall see that and be the judge by ourselves on our own. Okay, the 6th generation Camaro started in 2016. I've already mentioned that to you. Okay, and you're looking now at the 2022 model. Okay, so due for a facelift very, very soon. Okay, it comes in 3 engine types. Okay, we're going to start with ours, which is the 2-liter 4-cylinder, spitting out a measly 275 horsepower, which is not that bad. I've had this car for 2 weeks now, and it hasn't been a bad car. It's got plenty pep. Obviously, you can get pretty gnarly with the other models. So going up one stage, we have a 3.6-liter V6. That one's giving you 335 horsepower. Both, I believe, are single turbocharged, because you can certainly hear the turbo spool up in this one when you're getting on her. And then the badass, the one that, the piece de resistance, the one that everyone is longing for, is the C7 Corvette's same engine, 6.2 liter V8. And that clocks in at about 455 horsepower, you know, just from the engine, or just from, excuse me, just from the factory stock, right? Obviously you could tune the hell out of that. You could, I believe it's supercharged as well. If I'm wrong there, feel free to message me in the comments as you do, and correct me, okay? So yeah, that's just a little rundown sort of on the vehicle. Wanted to give a little bit of history about the car instead of just kind of like getting sort of straight into it. Want all my viewers to know what we're looking at, and the history of the Chevrolet sort of brand. So there she is. All right, so let's just get a little walk around here, okay? 2022 Chevrolet Camaro LS package. Okay, this one's finished in, excuse the wind, I'm sorry. This one's finished in satin steel metallic. It's rear wheel drive. Okay, the interior, as you're gonna see, is medium ash gray. Okay, it's got the 18-inch chrome sort of aluminum wheels. Okay, coming up to the front here, it's got daytime running headlamps. All right, just there. Really, the one thing I really like about these cars is the front grille. It looks really menacing here. All right. The big V8 ones have a hood scoop on them and everything. They look gnarly. You can get a real like nice piece that comes along here, a splitter that looks really gnarly. This is just the base model, but just straight from factory here, this looks pretty good. This one retails for, okay, so standard right from the factory. If you wanted the most base model, you can get them for $25,000. This one is coming in at $27,800. Okay, and that's still very bare bones. You can option the heck out of these things. There's so many different things that you can kind of do with these cars, which is super cool, right? There's a lot to offer. It appeals to a lot of people. So, you know, I don't want to say almost not anyone, but you know, for $25,000, a lot of people can get into a car like this and enjoy a beautiful Camaro like this, right? Not everyone has to have the, you know, the $80,000-$90,000, you know, big V8 supercharged one. So another little piece here that I really like is these exhausts, right? Actually sound pretty good. Okay. And then the back headlights, very sort of reminiscent of Chevrolet, of Camaro, right? When you see these lights, when you see this bum in front of you, you definitely know that you're looking at a Camaro, right? It's very distinguishable, right? You got the nice sort of buttresses here, very wide on the back. Take a look at that. Look at how wide that is. Really nice sort of look, right? This one's rear wheel drive, right? So just the back axle, the back two wheels powering the vehicle, right? More styling cues here. You got sort of little buttresses kind of running up there, a little subtle, but looks really nice. All right, coming around. This one I do believe has keyless entry. Just bang, lock, unlock, keep your fob in your pocket. And I think that's basically it for add-ons, for options. Other than that, it's very sort of very stock. Okay, so just coming around, yeah. Let's get a little look-see of the engine, and then we'll dig into the interior. Coming around, just give her a couple pumps here. 1, 2, okay, we're open. Coming around here. Such a beautiful day. All the cars are out, people are out doing their thing. It's a gorgeous day to have a nice vehicle. Oh, I love how it's on hydraulics. That is a big thing for me, this thing. Toyota does a lot of like the strut that you have to put up and fix into it. Can't stand that. This actually looks really good. I like this package a lot. Nice clean engine. All right, direct injection, DVT. Not really sure what that means. Maybe if someone in the comments knows what that means, I would love you guys to be able to kind of explain that. But I like the look of this. Some nice styling on the engine cover there. Obviously a nice Chevrolet sort of badge. All right. The hood is actually fairly light. It's obviously on a hydraulic sort of lift, but nice and light. Looks cool. It's obviously a new car, so everything is fairly clean, but it looks good with the exception of those leaves. That looks really good. Let's close her down. Bang. quick little look there at that Chevrolet logo. Let's take a look at the trunk space in this bad boy. All right, so to access the trunk, you got a little button here just on your driver's side door. Bang, coming around here, and actually the trunk of this thing is pretty cool. For a coupe, take a look at this. It looks small when you're about to go into it, but look at how deep this thing is. Literally so deep. I actually think I might be able to get into this trunk. Let's attempt that right now. Doing it for you guys, doing it for you. Holy, look at it, I can get in, I can get in. I can fit all the way in there. How amazing is that? Anyone that drives by right now is gonna think I'm an idiot. Oh, that's trunk space right there. All right, coming out before I hurt myself. Yeah. All right, so yeah, again, I fit all the way in there, so you can easily get some golf clubs, a couple sets of golf clubs. You got not a whole lot. You probably got a spare tire underneath here. No, you don't even have a spare tire. You just got your usual sort of stuff if you get stranded on the side of the road. Pretty basic sort of stuff. There's your manual and everything, your driver's manual, all that sort of stuff. It's a pretty new car, so comes with everything you need. Yeah, pretty standard, right? Let's shut her down. Bang. So coming into the interior here, let's just have a little pop in here, okay? What I like about these interiors is that, you know, this interior, probably the most basic sort of trim level, is still very similar to the highest level. Obviously the you know, the fit and finishes. Take a look at the seats here. Okay, they're just like a nylon or some sort. They're not great. They could be leather, but the way they're styled and everything, okay, the dimensions of everything, you know, you know, this is leather, right? You know, the Aero sort of plane-like fighter jet looking Mercedes-esque kind of you know, what was I gonna say, you know, temperature gauges here. I like the way that's done, and that's done the same in all of the models, right? You get this nice Camaro steering wheel with all the stuff, everything you need on it. You got paddle shifters behind here, nice brushed aluminum, right? This infotainment system, this gauge, is the same for all the vehicles you're in. Okay, yeah, it might come up and show you know, the ZL1 or 1LE or something bonkers, something crazy, but it's just about the same, right? The infotainment system is exactly the same. It's Apple CarPlay, works really well. Something I actually really like is the way this is designed. So you want to go hotter, you just bang, you just go like that, nice and easy. It switches right away. You want to go colder, there. Very simple, very simple. I like the design of this. You want to increase the power, you go up. You want to decrease the power, you go down. Very simple, sort of, you know, sleek sort of design. If you want, you know, to change the way that the air is coming out at you, obviously you have those buttons. That's pretty universal, right? This stuff is in most cars, but pretty easy to follow. Home button, track left, track right. You know, there's your power button on and off, right? Mute if you want to make a call. These are all pretty standard, right? So, you know, the stock here, pretty standard, does everything you need it to do. It's not going to be all premium and special, but it serves the purpose. It does what you need it to do. Nice leather steering wheel here, really nice leather steering wheel. Feels like really good quality, and you're looking down at a nice Camaro badge. I like this. This is, you know, I'm a big believer in having a nice steering wheel, because this right here, this sort of area is what you look at just about all the time that you're in a car, right? So these are the things. This is your functionality here. This is what you're staring at. And when you see Camaro, you know, you feel like you're in something reasonably special, right? And that stuff all looks really nice as well. That's obviously interchangeable here. You can mix around. You can do a bunch of different things here. Very programmable. Can give you a lot of different information. Coolant temperature, oil pressure, right? And obviously, you know, the higher trim you get into, there's just your speed, right? Obviously, the higher speed you get into, listen to that bad boy again. Oh, 4-cylinder, look out. The higher trim level you get into, the more you'll probably end up tracking the, you know, the V8 ZL1 or whatever it is. And this telemetry is going to be a little bit more useful for you, right? So coming around, just taking a look. I want to cover everything here. All right, you got another sort of thing here. You got another little button here. This is to increase your light, darker, lighter, right? On the doors, pretty standard. I like the look of this. Feels nice, feels pretty solid. Open, close. There's your windows. There's your mirror adjustments. Okay. Let's come out just quickly here, just so we can get a quick look here. You got your Camaro badging right there. Bang. All right. Seats are adjustable that way, up and down. This piece will go down and up. This will go back. All right, back, forward, back. Yeah. If we want to open it, we just give if we want to go up and down with that, we just give that a little bang. If we want to go here, open. Back. Obviously not a lot of leg room going on here. This is basically, this is a 2+2, but literally the only people going back here are either children or legless human beings. I don't recommend it. Let's just try it for the sake of trying. Okay, so I'm gonna go way up with the front seat here. Okay, I'm gonna go up enough that, like, I'm 6 feet, but I'm gonna go up enough that there would be like a normal person sitting back there. So let's go in. Let's see how, oh God, that's hard to get in here. Okay, so I'm in, okay, and I'm crushed. My head is literally, look at my head. I'm in here like that. My head is smashed on the floor. I gotta literally be down like that. It's not comfortable at all. I feel like a sardine in here. And I feel unsafe. I don't feel safe. I feel like if we had an accident, I'm done ski, over, okay? So that's what we're seeing from the rear, sort of the rear passengers, right? Nice place to be in the front, right? Nice place to be if you're up there, kind of, you know, working the show, right? You got your drive modes here, right? From the back here, I can show you this stuff. You got a snow mode. You got tour. Tour, I guess, is just the equivalent of like the basic model. You got sport, which is kind of all I drive it in, just to open up the exhausts. And then you got your snow ice. If it gets a little dicey outside, you can use that. I think without further ado, let's get it into Sport Plus or Sport and give it a couple revs. If I can get out of here. Just covering a few more little things here. The sound system, pretty average, not upgraded or anything like that, but it kind of does the trick, right? Coming around here, there's one there, one speaker there, one speaker there, and then a couple more back there and on the other side. Pretty average, right? But definitely does the trick, right? If you're really big into your music, you could upgrade it to a better sound, probably more speakers, right? So you got that. You got the foot pedals down there. There's your dead leg, your dead pedal. There's your gas. That's the gas. That's the brake. I do like how the transmission, whatever gear lever, is in a nice leather, wrapped in leather with some brushed aluminum. I think in the higher level one, this is probably decked out. It's probably labeled here. It's, you know, again, like in the higher level trims, they show more, you know, if it was a ZL1 or something, they're always showing ZL1 here, ZL1 there, right? Just so you know you're in something sort of special. There's your parking brake. You get a nice what do you call it, cigarette lighter if you need it. These should be done. Like, who uses these anymore? This is like a thing of the past. Like, who still, I guess I shouldn't say that. I guess if you smoke in your vehicle and you use this thing, write me in the comments and tell me that I'm completely wrong. I think this should be a thing of the past. but I feel like I might be wrong. Let me know in the comments. Are people using these things? Do you use them too? I mean, this one doesn't even have the lighter thing in it, but I guess it almost looks like a port. Back in the day, I used to, for me, it used to be where you'd put a little cigarette thing in it, and after like 30 seconds, you pop it out, and you could light your cigarette with it. But this looks like it's just for like the actual charging port, excuse me. But then if you look in here, you have the charger, the USB anyways, right? Can you see that? You get your 2 charging ports in there anyways, so they're so close together. I feel like, come at me in the comments. Write me a comment and let me know if you think this is unnecessary. Okay. I think that's really kind of it. Let's take a look just up here, just to cover all our bases, right? You get some stuff up there. Yeah, OnStar, SOS if you need it. There's your lights. Boom, boom, right? There she is. I think it's time we take this girl for a little spin and see how she rolls. So driving the 2022 Camaro LS, okay? The light's not the greatest. I just wanted to get a little rip in this thing, give you my give you my thoughts. Been driving the car for about 2 weeks now, and I came from an SUV to this car. So that first sort of initial kind of shock to me was that I was sitting so high up on the road. Now I'm literally like got my butt on the asphalt here, basically. I'm so low. That's all good and well, because you know the car is very peppy. It's you know, it maneuvers in and out. It's okay. It's fun to be in. It's low. It's a different sort of, it's a different experience. So I'm okay with that. I will say that this car is pretty peppy. It's the 2-cylinder, or excuse me, the 2-liter 4-cylinder. You know, less than 300 horsepower. It's got a single turbo, which sounds really cool when you kind of get into her. Let me get into her right here and see if you can hear this. Ready? You can kind of hear the turbo sort of spooling up a little bit, which is kind of cool. It's got a little whistle, right? For a little car like this, it's kind of like, you know, it's intoxicating. It's like you want to do it over and over and over again. Intoxicating is not the right. It's where I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's like it makes you want to do it again. You know what I mean? But yeah, driving the car, it's, you know, it's got enough power. I think it is underpowered, but it's got enough power. The one thing I will say is when I get into it, the car is very, like, the visibility here is very smushed. So everything you're seeing here from like the pillar here when I want to take a left is all sort of blocked. I'm sitting very low in the car. Like you can even see this, the door wells are so, and obviously I can adjust this, but this is the lowest sitting. This is the setting. This is the sports car. Steering wheel is low. I feel like the visibility in this car is really, really poor. It's been really bad. All right, if you look behind me here, that blind spot is absolutely massive. Look at that back there. Like, there's a little window, there's a bunch of stuff. Like it's really bad. When I want to take a lane, I really have to like all the way around and really make sure of it. So first world problem, you might say, but you know, if you're looking to buy a car like this and you're doing a review, that's something to take into consideration. And that's this side. What about looking on that side? It's literally, there's like a car and a half, 2 cars that could hang out back there. So something to consider. The interior, I'm pretty happy with it. Again, we're talking base level trim here. It's really not that bad. I think the seats, if you're gonna do something in terms of options and pay a little bit more, again, this was $27,800, I would option out some leather seats. That's probably my biggest issue in here, because everything else is reasonably good. A little bit of cheap leathers on the side door here and stuff like that, but it's not horrible. It's black, so it doesn't look too bad, and it's probably gonna wear decently well. But the seats are not great. They're like this nylon, like cloth seat. So if you could put black leathers in here, right? Maybe with an LS badging or something like that, or Camaro badging, could be, I'm not sure what the option is, 500, 900 bucks, 1,000 bucks, there's probably different trim levels. I think that would be a good option in here to really kind of, you know, finish the tone of the interior. So getting back to the sort of the car, it's got a bit of a race car sort of vibe to it. The steering's really tight. you know, you got all your telemetry in front of you that does, you know, it does all your oil pressures, your tire pressures, everything. It has a real sort of sports car, sort of race car vibe, which is super, super cool. I enjoy that. And the, you know, the steering is tight. It's really tight. You certainly can feel that. It's tight just sort of on, you know, on regular roads and just kicking through regular streets. In and around the curves and stuff like that, it does handle pretty good. It's a fairly boxy car. It's kind of a wide body sort of type car, rear wheel drive. So when you get going around curves and stuff like that, it is very planted. Obviously the faster one with the big gnarly tires and all that is gonna compose itself probably a little bit more. But this one definitely does a good job for what it is. Suspension though is pretty rough. We're in a little coupe, but you know, when we're low to the floor, but the suspension is really rough. Going over little bumps and stuff like that, you really sort of, it beats you up in here. You really sort of feel the bumps and stuff like that. More so, I think, than other sports cars I've been in the past. So just giving you a little basis from comparison. Other sports cars that I've been in just kind of ride a little bit more. You know, maybe they have a comfort mode or something like that. But this beats you up pretty bad. You're in a very distinct sort of vehicle in this car. A lot of people know this vehicle and they like to challenge you. You know, I say challenge. We're not in a Challenger, we're in a Camaro, but you know, the Dodge Challenger, the Dodge Charger, the Ford Mustang, and then the Chevy Camaro. These are all very like traditional sort of cars that everyone knows about and knows that they're built for power, they're built for performance. And you know, so you get tons of punks, tons of people always want to pass you and always want to give you a big rev off, and just always kind of like you know, just wanting to prove themselves around you. So take that into consideration if you're going to get this car and you're at the bottom of the pecking order of the Camaros. Kind of take that into consideration. Now, if you have the big 6.2 liter, you're the alpha male of the Camaros, and you can fight the fight. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It's all good. So as I give this car a little bit of acceleration, I can really hear the engine sound coming back. I don't know if it's just the exhaust, the way they're designed, but I know I'm not in a real fast, powerful, loud car, but I'm still getting a good tone from the back. I'm still getting good feedback from the car, and that kind of pleases me. You know, when I'm in a sports car and I put my foot down, regardless of what trim level I'm in, if I can't hear anything, it doesn't give me a lot of emotion. This one, not the highest spec, but I put my foot down and I'm getting this engine tone, I'm getting this sound, getting this feeling, and it's nice. Not to mention the turbos, you can hear it spooling up, right? So good feedback. You know, something that I actually really enjoy about the car. I'm feeling the car, I'm hearing the car. And for a car enthusiast, that certainly gives me pleasure when I'm in and around, when I'm kicking in and around town. So thoughts on the practicality of the car? You saw the cargo back there, the cargo tank, and you could fit a whole 6 foot 180 pound gentleman inside there. So you get a bunch of golf clubs and stuff like that. 2+2 back seats are basically unusable. There's hardly any space back there. You would use the back seat for throwing random stuff, paperwork, maybe a duffel bag when you're on your way to the gym, stuff like that. So you're in a coupe, so you kind of know what you're going to expect, right? It's not super practical. I think if you're after a little bit more practicality, you might look at, you know, the Challenger, the Charger. These come, you know, even the Mustang is a 2-door, but the Challenger and the Charger both come in 4-door variants. Excuse me, I think just the Charger comes in a 4-door variant. The Challenger is a 2-door. But maybe look at the Charger, Dodge, Chevrolet, for a little bit more practicality. So this one, again, you're getting into a coupe. You don't expect for any crazy practicality, but it's got a little bit. It can kind of get you through. So again, as I drive down the street here, you make eye contact with people. It's, you know, you're looking around. Everyone kind of looks at this car, right? This is a pretty subtle gray spec. It's nothing crazy. It's a lower trim level, but it still gets a lot of looks. It's styled very cool, right? It's very boxy. It's very reminiscent of a Camaro, right? It's very easily distinguishable, and I think a lot of people appreciate that. So they may not look at it for long, but they certainly go, hey, that looks pretty cool. You know, that's a Camaro. Yeah. So you get a lot of kids looking at it, you get a lot of car enthusiasts looking at it, you know, young guys, stuff like that. People can appreciate this car. It's super cool. As we get an amazing Mercedes Maybach rolling past us. Ooh, baby, that was sick. So yeah, just to kind of finalize my thoughts, you know, $30,000, you know, probably $35,000 if you optioned up a little bit package for this thing. I've been really pleased with it. I give it sort of high credibility, high marks. And I would give it a buy. After living with it, I think if you can deal with a little bit of lack of visibility, I think that's probably the biggest thing. If you can deal with a little bit of the bare bones sort of interior, which again can be optioned up, you know, a little bit of a rough ride in and around town and stuff like that. Aside from that, I think it's a great sort of little fun sports car. Plenty of power. Right, you know, plenty of style. It makes you feel good when you're in it. Gives you good feedback. It's got good engine sound, and under $30,000. I mean, that's hard to beat, right? It's really hard to beat in this day and age. So, I'd give this car a buy. I think if you're in the market, you know, definitely take a look at the Dodge Charger, you know, the Challenger as well. I'm getting a Charger tomorrow. I'm gonna have a Challenger this week as well, so we'll do a little bit of a comparison, but this is certainly a buy for me. Really enjoyed it. If you've got any questions about the car, feel free to comment below and you know, and ask me what you think. I'd love to hear about your experiences in this car, if someone's driven the big V8 or the 6-cylinder, and how they sort of differ, what the interiors look like. You know, obviously this one's offered in a manual. This one's the paddle shifters, which I should mention, the transmission in this car, this is something I left out and I should not have left it out. Transmission's very slow. It's so slow I don't even drive on the paddles. It's like you shift and then it changes. Shift, then it changes. Not responsive at all. So I just left it in sort of in drive, just kind of kick around. But you can get, obviously in the bigger models and stuff like that, you can get a manual transmission. So I would love to hear from you guys as to, you know, what your experiences have been like in this car, and how they differ from what I've experienced here. But really happy to have enjoyed this car and had a go in it. And I think it's a really good sort of package for the price. So guys, I hope you got something out of that video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit subscribe. After 100 likes on any one of my videos, I give a random $100 gift card out to any one of my subscribers, randomly done. So again, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Hopefully you got something out of this video, excuse me. I encourage you guys to browse the channel. Tons of different cars that I've reviewed, given my opinions on. Take a look. I've got a new car coming in the next week, which we're going to be doing a full build. We're going to be doing mods. We're going to be going to the track with it. We're going to be doing cars and coffee. We're going to have a ton of fun with the car. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Look forward to seeing you again. All right? See you in the next one. Bye.